What's the worst thing an adult can do to a kid? I was 3 days into juvie when the sweat started. I'd been doing drugs since I was 12, and the judge knew I needed medical detox. CO Garcia, I need medical, I said, already feeling my skin crawling like insects underneath. I'm going into withdrawal. The morning shift officer looked at me through the meal slot. Oh, here we go. Every junkie suddenly needs their fix. No, you don't understand. My hands were shaking so bad I couldn't hold my water cup. The intake nurse said I'd get medication. Sit on your bunk. He opened my cell door and stepped inside, towering over me. You know what my uncle did when I was hooked on pills? Let me sweat it out in the basement for a week. Best thing that ever happened to me. My cellmate Tyrone jumped down from the top bunk. Yo, Co, he's been puking all night. He needs help. Garcia blocked him. The only thing he needs is to learn that choices have consequences. Then he did something I'll never forget. He walked out, slammed the cell door, and turned off our water from the outside panel. No water until you admit you're just drug seeking. This victim mentality is why you're all in here. That's illegal! Someone yelled from the next cell. The quiet, or you're all going to solitary. Garcia walked down the tier. Anyone else want to cry about their addictions? My stomach was cramping like someone was twisting a knife inside. 72 hours. That's when withdrawal peaks. That's when kids die from dehydration and seizures. The number the jail doctor made us all memorize. That's when my pod enemy Diego decided to run his mouth from across the hall. He used to steal from his grandma for drugs. Garcia's face lit up. See? Even the other residents know he's just chasing a high. He walked back to the control booth and hit the intercom. You know what really helps with fake withdrawal? He cranked the heat to maximum. Sweat it out faster. If you were really that sick, I wouldn't do this. But since you're faking, the vent started blowing hot air. In a concrete box with no windows, it was like being in an oven. My brain felt like it was melting. Tyrone screamed, "Turn it off! He's really sick!" Garcia laughed over the speaker. Psychosomatic reaction. He thinks he's detoxing, so his body mimics it. That's when Jamal in the next cell started puking. I guess he was detoxing too because his whole body was shaking. I can't. I need water. Everyone lost it. Kids were stripping down, pressing their faces against the cold concrete. Turn the heat off! Turn it off! Trey was trying to fan me with his shirt. Please don't die. Please don't die. Antoine ran to his cell door and started slamming his fist into it. Help! Somebody help us! Garcia laughed through the intercom. Damage your cell and add time to your sentence. 4 other kids were now on the floor. The heat was making everyone sick. Dehydration, panic. Kids with asthma couldn't breathe. Please! Jalen was crying, gasping for air. Through the door window, Nurse Patricia looked in. Garcia stepped out of the booth, blocking her view of the chaos, and mouthed, "Everything's fine," before she walked away. This is torture! Tyrone screamed. 1 hour left until shift change. I could feel my organs shutting down. My muscles were already seizing up. Garcia actually turned the heat higher. When I started here, nobody was a drug addict. Now suddenly everyone needs medication-assisted treatment, thank liberal policies. My body wasn't mine anymore. The seizure hit like electricity through my spine. Tyrone told me later that's when things got really bad. My withdrawal seizure was violent, convulsing, foaming, completely rigid. He tried to keep me from hitting my head, but I was thrashing too hard. "He's dying!" Tyrone screamed, my blood on his hands from where I'd bitten through my tongue. Garcia stood in the booth eating his lunch. Oscar-worthy performance, though the fake blood is a bit much. That's when Tiny lost it. This huge kid who everyone feared but who secretly wrote poetry. He grabbed his metal food tray like a weapon. Violence? Really? Garcia pulled out his pepper spray. "This is going straight in your file." Tiny swung at his cell window. Crack! The reinforced glass spiderwebbed. "Destruction of property!" Garcia shrieked. "That's 5 more years!" But Tiny didn't stop. He kept hitting until the window shattered. Jamal was having his own seizure 3 cells down. Jalen passed out from heat stroke. Complete chaos. "Riot! You're all getting charged!" That's when Deshaun saw me through Tiny's broken window and completely lost it. He reached through, slicing his arms on the glass, fumbling for my door lock. "Stop right there!" Garcia screamed. But Tyrone and Tiny held the door while kids poured out. The pod door flew open. Guards came flooding in. "Call medical!" Someone screamed. "Multiple inmates down!" Garcia was still yelling as they restrained him. "They're all faking! This is manipulation!" The paramedic said I was clinically dead for 2 minutes. They had to restart my heart right there on the tier while working on Jamal 20 feet away. Turns out he'd been detoxing from benzos in silence. Officer Garcia was given paid administrative leave while his actions were under review. The warden said it was standard procedure and that the heat malfunction was unfortunate timing. Fast forward 2 weeks later, and we were sitting in group therapy when they broke the news. Jamal's brain damage was too severe. His family pulled the plug after 10 days on life support. That's when I knew we had to take matters into our own hands and destroy Officer Garcia. Full story on channel, link below.